on life. And then when I got back to playing, I was like 28, and I felt like I had been missing out on like all the chances to start a career, and people that I used to go to school with, the ones that were talented and had drive, they were like out in the world playing and, you know, having gigs and doing fun stuff. And I wasn't, and I like had started playing, but I could only play, you know, for so long per day. I didn't want to overstrain myself, so I had to keep it really chill. And I remember thinking, like, as I was approaching 30, you know, I was thinking that I'm way too old to, you know, have this as a career, you know, like for sure I'm too old. Like where would I start, you know, and who would care? And so it's interesting now when it's like 20 years later. I just turned 49, and I have a little bit of a career, and things didn't turn out so bad after all.
Yeah. Do you feel like that, looking back on how that kind of shaped your perspective on life? Do you know, a lot of people look back on moments in their life that are kind of, you know, the more sort of difficult times, and are sort of somewhat thankful for them, for how it in some ways can shape how you think about the world. And, you know, you wouldn't necessarily want to have experienced that again, but
yeah,
looking back on it, are there any elements of that you're thankful for that helped you to sort of, I don't know, develop as a person in some ways?
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty it was a pretty bad time at the time to have to go through that, and there's been other things, you know, that in life, like you know, if I was in a relationship for a while, that wasn't like maybe something I shouldn't be involved in for that long time, and then, but it's like what everything led up to. Like, I'm a very like positive person, and I feel like my life has been, you know, overall like a very positive experience. But like whatever bad things has happened, like where I'm at now, like I'm very fulfilled, like with what I do in my career. I get to do my own music, my own band, and I got to tour with a couple of my favorite bands for some time, and I'm married to my wife, who I love and who's my best friend, and we have a kid that's like the best person for me, you know. So and it's like it's very like if I would take away any of these things, like if I wouldn't have those injuries, like some of the people I went to school with, they went in and became like backing musicians for like pop stars and stuff. And if I wouldn't have injured myself, maybe I would have gone in that direction, and then my career would have turned into something completely different. You know, maybe something that wouldn't be like in my best interest, not the stuff that I wanted to do. So it's so difficult to see what my life would be like. And I ended up in a very good place. I guess if you have, I mean, I know some people who have regrets because like they made some decisions in the past, and now there are things in their life that are like shit, you know, to them, and then that's like regrets. So I don't really have any regrets about anything, because like I ended up here and I'm talking to you, and I've got my signature guitar, and you know, so yeah,